I'm going to show you how you can replace screens in your shot using Mocha and After Effects. And don't worry, Mocha comes pre-installed with After Effects, so if you have After Effects, you have Mocha. Alright, so here is our phone shot and we're going to want to superimpose a clip onto this. First thing to do before we go to Mocha is to make sure your video resolution is set to full here. Then we're going to select our clip and come up to Effect, and down here we have Boris Effect Mocha. Open it up. And now if your screen doesn't look like this and it has a different layout, just head up to this workspace drop down and just click Essentials. So the Mocha interface is a pretty simple layout. We have our toolbar up the top here. On the left we have our layer options and tracking controls, and then the rest of it is filled with the view window. So we're going to come up to the toolbar and select our spline tool. And what we want to do is just tell Mocha the area where our surface plane is. So we're just going to draw around our phone screen. And with this, you can actually let it be a bit wider than the phone screen itself. And so Mocha is going to be focusing on this area in here. Next, we want to tell Mocha where exactly our surface is. So we come up to our planar surface tool, and here you'll see that we've got a rectangle of 4 blue lines. This is where we put exactly on the dimensions of our screen we want to replace. Okay, so now that we've told Mocha where our surface is exactly, we're going to want it to start tracking. So if we come across to our tracking tools, we'll see here that we have our track motion options from translation, scale, rotation, skew, and perspective. Since this person's free holding this phone, we're going to choose perspective on this. And now all we're going to do is just track forward. And you can see Mocha there is tracking our phone, and all the points are staying exactly where we've left them. Great, so that's finished and it looks pretty good. Turning the grid on is always good for checking, because we'll be able to tell on a bigger plane surface whether there are any errors. And for this, it all looks pretty good. So that's all we need to do in Mocha. The last thing to do is just come over and hit save, which is this button on the top left. Once we've hit that, we can close. Next thing to do is prepare the actual screen insert itself. So we're going to come over here and create a new solid. And it's important that the screen replacement insert you are making is the same resolution as the source footage. So this source footage here was 4K, and we're going to create our screen insert at 4K as well. Now what I'm going to do is pre-compose our solid, and we're going to call this screen. So coming over to the effect control of Mocha, we're going to hit our tracking data. And what we're going to want to do is create tracking data. And here we choose where we want to place our tracking data. So we're going to choose corner pin with motion blur support. We're going to export our layer to our screen insert. And we can leave that at source and hit apply. So right now it looks like it's pushed our screen pre-compose into our phone. But remember, it's taken the top left and put it on our top left on our phone, top right of our screen, and put it on the top right of our phone. So it's actually squashed our pre-comp quite a lot. And I'll show you that with inserting our clip now. And if I scale this just so it's fitting top to bottom on our comp, and I'll show you what it looks like on our phone. So you can see how squashed it is on our phone. That looks like shit, to be honest. What we need to do is stretch it and distort it out to fit our comp, and then the corner pins are going to do its thing and put it back to normal. So if we come back to our screen composition, we can easily just do this by right-clicking, come to transform, and fit to comp. So you can see how distorted and stretched that looks. But then when we come back to our phone, you can see it's back to how we would normally view it. Right, the next step is to make it fit the full frame of the phone and get rid of any of the green screen we're seeing. So here we are going to duplicate our bottom layer, drag it up to the top, come over to our effects and search for key light 1.2, drop that on. And what we're going to do is use the eyedropper to select the green. And now what that's done, if I turn off our bottom layer, you can see that it's removed the green around here. And that's because if I turn this on, you can see now the green from our shot has been completely removed. Now, if I turn on our screen here, so now all I need to do is increase our screen input to fill out these empty bits around our phone. So I'm going to come over to the effects and search for a transform. Because our transform already has a lot of keyframe data, we're going to drop in a new transform here. And we're just going to increase the scale ever so slightly so that is all filled out. Now if we play that back, there we go. That's done a good job at replacing our mobile screen with no tracking points using Mocha. Now stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you 3 effects you can use to put on your screen composition that will make it look more like a digital screen, and it'll blend in more to the background and be more realistic. But first, I want to show you one more example where we're going to have a screen with tracking points, but we're going to have our subject in the way of a few of those tracking points. So let's take a look at that. All right, so here is our clip of our audio engineer, and you can see at the start his head kind of goes over our tracking point here and covers a bit of the screen. Now, I know he's not covering a lot of the screen, but the principles I'm going to show you here apply to whether or not your subject's covering half the screen or multiple tracking points. So again, we're going to come here and go up to Effect and open up Mocha. And now what's good about having multiple tracking points is the fact that we don't have to use all 4 corners of our screen. We can just select a few tracking points and Mocha will do a good job at realizing where the surface is and sticking to that. So we're going to come across to our spline tool, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go around these 3 tracking points here. So all Mocha's doing is relating to these 3 tracking points, but then we're going to tell it that the screen is actually this dimension. So we're going to come across to our planar surface tool, and again, drag this right out to the dimensions of the entire screen. And because we have camera movement, we're going to turn on perspective. All right, so let's begin by tracking forward. So that looks pretty good. So now we can go and save. Next thing to do is to come and create our screen insert. So new solid, pre-compose, and name it screen. I'm going to come in here and drop our insert. We can just scale this to fit our composition. And so now all that's left to do is to apply the tracking data to our screen composition. So if we come over to our effects, tracking data, create tracking data, corner pin with motion blur, and send this to our screen. There you can see it's jumped straight onto our screen. All right, so there are a couple of things left to do. Firstly, we need to fill out our screen just like the last example, so we're not getting any lines around the borders. And then secondly, we also need to rotoscope around the head of our audio engineer, so he's in front of our screen insert here. Okay, so we're going to duplicate our background, which is Command D, drag it onto the top, come across to our effects, and search for key light 1.2, drop that on to our effect and select the green. So you can see our key light has got rid of the green on our screen, but it has left the tracking points. So one more thing we need to do is create a mask around our tracking points to remove them as well. We come over to our pen tool, basically draw around our tracking points. And what we're going to do, because there's not too much movement with this shot, we're just going to automate the mask path to follow the screen. That looks like it's keeping our tracking points inside itself, and then we just change this to subtract. And now that's removed our tracking points. So we're almost there. Last stage is the rotoscope. So we're going to duplicate our bottom layer again. We're going to come up to the top here and select our roto brush. Double click on our layer. And we're going to draw around the head of our engineer. Now you can see it's added parts of our rotor that we don't want. So what you can do is hold Option and you'll see that my little pointer's gone red. That means it's going to subtract what I'm selecting now. Okay, that looks looking pretty good. So if we just hit play. Great. So we can freeze our roto there so it doesn't keep regenerating every time we want to play the video. Okay, there we go. So we've removed our tracking points and rotoscoped the head of our engineer over the top. All right, last thing to do is to make our screen a bit more digital feeling. At the moment, it's very clean and crisp, so we kind of want to just distort that ever so slightly so it blends in a bit better. So we're going to come across to our screen composition and go inside. And you can see how clean this is all looking. One thing I did forget to note was when I created a new solid, I purposely choose to have this light blue color. And that is for creating the little pixel lines that we're going to do. So if you don't have this color, I would just create a new solid with the light blue color and have that overlaid over the top of our screen replacement. So now we can search for the Venetian blinds. And what we're going to do is make a really fine grid with these blue lines. So we're going to set it to something in the 80s. Maybe have a bit more lines going. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this and get vertical lines coming. And all we need to do once we've duplicated is change the rotation angle 90 degrees difference from the first effect. So now you can see we've got a lot of little blue lines that kind of act like little pixel points. Next step is to add a bit of Gaussian blur. And I would put anywhere between 2 to 4, so maybe we'll go with 3. And we're going to change our blend mode from normal to add. Lastly, we're going to do the same and put a lens blur on our screen. And just fine tune this right down to 1.5. And toss on a bit of noise to go with it. If we go back to our main composition, you'll see that the screen looks a lot more believable. I hope this video helped you achieve the results you want with your screen replacement. If you get stuck or have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next video.